like, well, because the reason we know it's worth $2.5 million, because there's another one that's for sale right now for like $2.5 million, which I think is too high, but at least we know. That kind of gives us the ball ground of what it could be worth. The realtor probably, probably put the price on it or whatever for the one that's listed. But we went directly to the owner. He's going to sell it to us for $1 million, and he's going to owner finance it to us. And we're going to the down payment, what we just decided was the down payment was going to pay off his mortgage. So he's going to owe like $200,000 or $220,000. We're going to just pay that off. And then over the course of the next 10 years, he'll just get a payment every single month from my student that's going to be picking up the thing. So she's going to have to come up with $200,000 down, and then she'll have a 10-year loan paid to the owner. He actually bought that thing for, I think maybe 5 years ago for like, for $400,000. So he's going to make like 600 grand on it, plus the interest of the loan, which is actually a very good deal. And he's very happy. And so is the student. Okay. So, so you can definitely do wraps. All right. And you don't hear a lot about it, but it's totally, totally doable. Okay. And then in 10 years, yes. All right. So I'm so blind. Oh my God. Glenn asked me if we could pay off the balance of the loan in 10 years. Yes, that's what you do. So a balloon. So we'll go back to that sheet. Very good question. Thank you for that. A balloon, right? So this is a 10-year balloon amortized over 20 years. So in 10 years, you have to refi it out and pay it off to the owner. So whatever you have left is what you're going to pay it out. Now, we don't put the amortization schedule like into the letter or anything like that, right? But you typically have, like, when you come up with owner financing, when you work with an owner and they do owner financing, the attorney or the title company will put an amortization schedule into the closing documents. And so then they'll have you sign it, like, okay, this is, in 10 years, you're going to owe this much money or whatever. All right, just so everybody knows. But essentially, yes, in 10 years, we would have to refi this out. Now, the truth is that if you go and get a loan from like a bank, it's the same thing. Typically, they're going to have 5 or 10 or 15-year balloons for commercial loans. If you go to a small local bank, you could probably get a 20-year loan on a commercial property. But most commercial lenders are going to be 5, 10, or 15 years. On average, typically I see loans that are 10-year balloons. And the reason they do that is because they want you to refi back with them and pay all the money that it costs to refi. So it's really just a way for them to make more money, honestly. So then your job is to either, pay it off in 10 years or refi it with the same bank in 10 years, or go and find somebody else to refi it out, right? Or sell it, right? That's kind of what you do. And it's the same concept with owner financing. In 10 years, you're going to just sell it or refi out. And a lot of times I'm just calculating like exit strategy. All right. Because the truth is, honestly, you make a lot more money buying, holding, and selling than buying. Now, this is my personal opinion, right? But you make a lot more money flipping properties than you do holding on to properties. Okay. Because if you think about the value of that loan, right? And we show this in our deal analyzer for our students. But like, if you buy something for $1 million and you pay 5% interest over 10 years or 20 years, you're paying X amount of dollars, right? But if you're buying it, value adding it, and then selling it in 5 years, you can really kind of like make more money by flipping those properties, if that makes sense. Anyways, so your exit strategies in 10 years are to either refi out with the same, now you would not be able to refi out with the owner. But honestly, you know what? I've had owners, like I have one right now that I had a 5-year balloon on. I went to my lender and I was like, actually he came to me. He's like, your 5 years is up. Like, what are you going to do? And I was like, we were going to sell it. He's like, you don't really have to sell it if you don't want to. If you want me to just hold on to it, I'll just keep holding on to it. And I was like, yeah. So we're in the process of like adding another 3 years to the loan. And private lenders and owners, once they start getting that monthly payment every single month, I mean, they really just like getting that monthly payment. And so they're open to even having a longer time. So first of all, when you offer owner financing the first time, they're gonna be like 10 years. Wow, that's a long time. Like, who knows what's gonna happen in 10 years, right? But the truth is like when you hit that 10-year mark, they're like, if you want to, we'll just go on to the next 20 years and do it again for the next 10 years because they're just really getting a monthly check every single month. And a lot of owners, I've noticed that too. A lot of the owners and a lot of the lenders, they don't want it. They don't want you to give their money back. They just don't. Okay.